Afternoon, everyone. I'm Trisha Anderson Foster, and earlier you met Mr. Bud Locke. I don't see him in here, but we are both your CHI agents for this season. CHI means Cultural Homestay International. They are SWAT's first sponsor. So they're the first sponsor we've ever worked with, our oldest sponsor. We have a very good relationship with them. All right, so what we do as your agents. So we ensure that all your documents are properly filled out. We email you when the job list becomes available, which is usually sometimes towards the end of this month. So basically, we liaise with CHI until you get there to the US in May. So we're the middle ground until you get there to the US in May. All right, CHI has two program options. The first is self-placed, and the second is job-assisted. All right, let me explain self-placed to everybody, because I don't think that students fully understand what self-placed is. Self-placed, yes, that's when you find your job on your own. That's one aspect to it. There are a lot of students who will come in, say, for instance, he had been on the program the year before, and CHI or CCI had founded a job the year before, right? Those students will come in and say, I need a self-placed form because I have my own job. You're not considered self-placed if the agency had found you the job the year before. You're a returning student. You do not go through the same process as a self-placed student. You are not self-placed because you didn't find the job on your own. The agency found the job for you even though it was the year before. We had introduced you to the job. So you are a returning student, right? If your employer will take you the following year, usually, the process is your employer says it to CHI or CCI that you want to go back to the same position, and they reserve a spot for you. You don't have to get a self-placed form. You don't have to fill out any self-placed documents because you're not self-placed, you're a returning student. The good thing about a lot of the returning student positions is that you pay the same fee as self-placed students. Okay, so you're not self-placed, but you're paying the same fee, right? So please note, I said a lot of the jobs, not all of them. So you have to liaise with SWAT or CCI or even or CHI and the employer as to whether or not you can get a discount on the program fee. Understand? Clear now? Okay. All right, and this is a copy of the CHI self-placed form, which has to be filled out in its entirety, along with the workers' compensation policy number and the business license of the employer, right? We'll send you a list of prohibited jobs as well. Both CHI and CCI have different lists of prohibited jobs, right? So if you are self-placed, and you have to go with, you want to, because sometimes your employer would have had a contract from the year before with either CHI or CCI, right? And you would have to stick with one sponsor. You understand? Right, so when you know what that sponsor is, then we have a list of prohibited jobs, and they're different for both CHI and CCI. Both of them have a list from the Department of State, but they both have some additions to the end of that list, right? So when you decide to go with a sponsor for self-placement, please ensure that you read that list of prohibited jobs in its entirety, all right? The job assist process for CHI, so if you decide to do job assessment, the first thing we're going to do when the job list becomes available, we're going to email you or call you in to view the job list. Right? Once you've viewed it, you select your job, and we then create a CHI account for you. Right? At that point, your status is pre-placed. You're not placed in the job because you have to meet the employer in February and sign off on the contract. Right? So you're pre-placed. The next thing you do after you're pre-placed, you complete an interview sheet and the CHI application form, right? Then we schedule your interview, and you do your interview, your job fair or Skype interview in about February, right? Then we advise you of your placement, and we request your work permit. Work permit can take 6 to 8 weeks, so please don't do the interview yesterday and ask for it next week, or it takes 6 to 8 weeks. Then you go to the embassy, buy a ticket, you go to the US. Pretty simple. All right. For CHI, there are 2 job lists. When you're choosing your jobs, there's either the SWAT job list or the open job list, right? It's very important. For the SWAT job list, these are jobs that are reserved for SWAT students only, reserved for Jamaicans only. So you have a little time when you're choosing these jobs, you can, you're reading through, because these are our spots. The open job list is the list that's available to all of CHI's partners, right? So Taiwan, every other country, that list is available, right? So when we're choosing jobs from the open job list, it's, I don't want to say rushed, but there's a little bit more haste to it when we're choosing jobs from the open job list. So just keep in mind when we tell you that we have open job list and SWAT job list, that you'll understand what both of them mean. All right, and this is an example of our job description. It's usually maybe about 8 pages long. It's very detailed, so when you come in to view the job list, it tells you everything, if there's a mall nearby, very detailed. And that's it for CHI.